Namaskaram and welcome to
Namaskaram
this.
to you also, and my viewers, our viewers.
Yes, today we are having a special discussion on the late actor Dharmendra. And Dharmendra, as we know, is dearest to all of us, even though he is not rated as on par with Dilip Kumar, Amitabh Bachchan, or such actors, Raj Kapoor. Dharmendra has his own place in the film industry, which is brought out very beautifully by Sri Rajiv Vijayakar, National Award winning author of the book Lakshmikant Pyarelal. So he has written a book on Dharmendra, delving deep into the character and psychology of Dharmendra and his films, the different roles he played, many variety of roles he played in the book Dharmendra, not just a He-Man, which is a wonderful book on Dharmendra. I think perhaps the only one book on Dharmendra which describes so many aspects of Dharmendra, his acting career. So, welcome to this program, Sri Rajiv Vijayakarji. After a long
Thank you.
time, we are meeting on Zoom. It's wonderful
Yeah.
meeting you on any day. And so,
Same here.
let's start right away without much ado about anything. So, how did the book germinate? How did the book about Dharmendra?
Terminated because you see the my commissioning editor then at Rupa Publications. His name is Mr. Shambhu Sahu. He and I were toying with another book when he was working for another publisher. Now, that book had nothing to do with this, but it was a comprehensive look at something else, which is not a single actor. When he came to Rupa, he asked me which actor I can do a biography of. And for obvious reasons, I thought of Dharamji because of my interactions with him, which started around the time of Apne, when I had written a small piece on him, which appeared in the US. And he read that piece and he took the trouble to call my office there and get my number because he didn't know me, we had never met. And he called me in Mumbai time from US to compliment and congratulate me. So, and we met also multiple times. We did multiple interviews. But he was naturally top of my mind because I have met almost all the heroes of his generation who were alive when I was writing. Luckily, he was very strong at that time. And I met even the heroes from the past generations. But very few of them, I connected with as people, you know. And I would say among those few were Devanand, Shami Kapoor Sahab, Rishi Kapoor. I'm talking about the heroes, Shatrughan Sinha. But nobody, I think, was made that impact on me and my life as Dharamji did. And anyway, I used to watch his films. And at that time also, when I was not even in the film part of the film industry, I realized that he was an extraordinarily versatile actor. He could do any role. You think of him as a Daku, a top police officer. You think of him as a villager or a city doctor. You think of him as anything. I mean, Dharamji just flowed into the role like, liquid water flows into any container. You give him anything, he'll do it well. It's not that he'll do it well, and he'll do it very well. But हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है कि unless you are a lot of drama, you know, and unless you shout from the rooftops or have a PR setup saying that you are a great actor, or you have impressionable fans who just convey from one to other, ये great actor है, ये great actor है, आपको वो actor का recognition नहीं मिलता है. Nobody realized that there were so many heroes who came and went when he was there. And when I say went, I mean of popularity. You know, nobody realizes that the variety he did, you know, is unequaled. I mean, you don't find a single hero, I would say, who's done that kind of variety in his entire career. Right from his struggling days and first movie where he was the second hero, Dil Bhi Tera Hum Bhi Tere, to his last Rocky और रानी की प्रेम कहानी and that small role in तेरी बातों में ऐसा उलझा जिया. Now I suppose he's done a stand-up job in 21. And when you realize that इनकी first release दिल भी तेरा हम भी तेरे was in December 1960 and 21 will release on Christmas in 2025. So
65 years.
65 years out of 89 plus is something unequaled. That kind of record, almost, but not completely 300 films, but almost 300 films,
Here,
and all colors and shapes and sizes. He didn't need a big role, in that sense to stand out. See, there are so many films like, for example, Sita or Gita, Hema Malini based, Dost, meaty role for Shatrughan Sinha, you know, Full or Patthar, meaty role for Meena Kumari.
yes,
And Mera Gaon Mera Desh, meaty role actually for Vinod
Vinod
Khanna.
Khanna.
But he just made his own impact. He was not bothered. Chole, Sanjeev Kumar. So he was not bothered. He just did what he was doing. He just did what his role was given. He was not a method actor, completely natural. He was not hyped. He never hyped himself. So all that led to this unfortunate situation where he never got a single acting award.
And in your book, you brought out that he is one who played many comedy roles, very, very
Yes.
different roles, many different comedy roles. But yet, when we say the name Dharmendra, we remember that famous dialogue, Kutte मैं तेरा खून पी जाऊंगा. So, so why is it that?
See, happily, he is also remembered for the terrific roles he played in Chupke Chupke as well as Pratigya, and the humorous element of his characters in Sholay and Sita or Gita. And one very dark horse among his movies, which unfortunately was not a super hit but was average, and that was Ghazab.
Gazab,
See,
yes.
Ghazab, he played a normal person and his twin brother who was deformed from birth, and then he was murdered, and then he becomes a ghost, and together they take revenge, the two brothers. So, see, that again, that is a unique role he played. I mean, you tell me which actor could have done that kind of double role. I don't think even the people who are considered fantastic, great artists, I don't want to name them here, could have done anything near that.
But in this aspect, can we compare him to Sanjeev Kumar because he too played very variety of roles, but he is recognized as a very good actor and character actor. For example,
Yes, we can. We can.
Chehre Pe Chehra comes to mind, which is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
See,
But
we can, but let me tell you one cardinal difference, which again is stronger for Dharamji. Dharamji was one of the best looking actors ever in Hindi cinema, ever. Saira Banu's mother is once said on the sets of I Milan Ki Bela, where incidentally Dharamji had a great role or a negative role almost,
yes.
that he looks like an American.
Mhm.
Now imagine a farmer who's come from,
Small
a
village.
remote Punjab village, grown up in another fairly remote Punjabi town of Sanewal. Imagine him looking so good, a man who's looking so good. And that is the advantage he had over Sanjeev Kumar because he was a typical hero. He had
Mm.
star value. He
Yes.
could do, Sanjeev Kumar could not have done the macho roles, the roles of that, the action hero or the muscular He-Man. That is why my book is titled Not Just a He-Man. He was many things besides He-Man.
And in your book, you brought out a point that he was actually offered Sanjeev Kumar or Gabbar Singh's role, which he declined and chose this Viru role.
That is because he could get Hema Mani.
I was about to ask that.
The romance was at its peak, according to Ramesh Sippy. The
Mm.
romance was at its peak during Sholay. He would even bribe the
Lighting, lightmen.
camera workers, lighting people, कि एक कोड था उनका कि अगर ये शॉट डिले करना है, मतलब रीटेक लेना है अगेन एंड अगेन, he would offer them a signal and then he would offer them money.
Yes.
That was the child. I think the child in Dharmendra never really left him. That is why he was always innocent.
Mm.
Like he once called me, I don't know, there must be some pressure on him from the whatever side that ये book मत लिखना. He had met me for the book, given me his poems, shared his photographs, but
Mm.
still he suddenly called me one day when I was, as happens, driving to a press screening. He said, ये book मत लिख यार, ये book मत लिख. तू तो मेरा मतलब he said you are so close to me, so affectionately. He said, don't write. I said, I've signed the contract with the publisher. We can't do this. But why do you want? He didn't give reasons. He
Mm,
just said, "ये मत लेके यार, ये मत लेके यार." Hema only told me something which may not be related to this.
mm.
She said he wanted to, have a coffee table book
Oh,
that is largely photos driven
yes.
of all his heroines,
Mhm,
starting from his first film to
mm,
his last. You know, all the heroines, most of them were top stars, but there were some lesser people or lesser known people,
yes.
people who are not known now, like Kumkum, for example. There are some other heroines also. So she said, अच्छा हुआ तुम लिखता है, वो बोलता रहता है कुछ करता नहीं. These are her exact words.
And there is one more aspect which I wanted to ask you, which does not, the book does not reflect. Dharmendra and apna Manoj Kumar, they were very close friends and they think they shared rooms, etc. But later on, they never starred in a film together except Mera Naam Joker. Why is it so?
No, that must be just a casting thing. See, multi-hero films were never fashionable till mid 70s,
Mm,
except for Mother India and Waqt, where the characters were needed.
mm,
But I don't think that's organic. Even Manoj had a single scene in Maidan-e-Jang. I have not seen the movie, so I
mm,
don't know whether it was with Dharamji or no. They
mm,
did not have a scene in Shadi, which was one of their earlier films together.
mm.
Mera Naam Joker, their characters were not really connected.
Yes, they are not
So,
connected.
I mean, Dharamji signed Shashi Kapoor for his home production, Krudhi.
Oh, oh.
So, and again, nothing else. They had their individual struggles, they had their internal, vibes, but it's not necessary. Like Manoj Kumar was very good friends outside the context of this with
Mm.
lyricist Anand Bakshi. But
Yes,
Anand Bakshi just did a couple of films with him.
yes,
So, and never did Manoj Kumar's own production. So, ये
yes.
प्रोफेशनल और पर्सनल का इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है.
Manoj
उस
Kumar preferred Santosh Anand to other
No,
lyricists.
he didn't work with Anand Bakshi.
Yes.
Yeah, except in Deshwasi, where we had a cameo.
Mm,
There was a song on him and Sajan,
mm,
and most of the songs of Himalaya Ki Gol.
mm.
So, see, the
But
personal and professional did not have to mix.
mix.
Yeah.
And
I can tell you one story. I don't know whether it's there in the book.
mm,
Maybe it is there. Manoj Kumar and Shashi Kapoor was very ill.
mm,
And this was around the release of Yamla Pagla Deewana, the
mm,
first Yamla Pagla Deewana.
mm,
And they had decided over the phone, let's go and meet our yar, he's unwell and all. And on the day they had decided, in the morning there was a newspaper picture of Amitabh Bachchan coming out of Breach Candy Hospital.
mm,
So Dharamji immediately phoned Manoj Kumar and said, yaar, nahi jate. People will think I want publicity because Yamla Pagle Deewana was on release.
mm. So
And
is that
God
sensible?
willing, God
Mm,
willing, he'll get well. And he did get well.
mm, mm,
So another incident, another statement from Manoj Kumar, which is not there in my book, which I came to know later,
mm,
that Sunny Deol on Dharamji's instructions, had brought in the script of their Shaheed, the Shaheed which Sunny Deol produced and Bobby and Sunny were in the cast.
mm,
And मनोज कुमार को बोला कि आप इस पे ओपिनियन दो.
mm,
तो मनोज जी read the script and he said, देखो, this may not work. Let me rewrite the script for
mm,
you. And
mm,
this was something he was going to do out of friendship, not charge.
mm,
But then, it didn't happen. We know what happened to that film.
mm.
So after that, I believe there was a little bit of sourness in their relation, but not serious. Manoj ji was very fond of him. Dharam ji was very fond of him.
And as I was reading your book, one thought struck me. Like if you read those 60s and 70s, see those 60, 70 heroes, they were very song conscious. That means they used to sit at song rehearsals or song making and involve like Shami
Not
Kapoor.
all, not all, not all.
How about Dharmendra ji?
No, never.
Mhm.
I interviewed Anil Sharma for Dharamji recently, and he told me that Dharamji never interfered in anything, left everything to the director, not in a scene, not in who will be the heroine, not in the music.
And not
But having said,
who will sing for him also, like Rafi or Kishore.
music में तो see he had just said कि all the singers have done brilliant songs for me, but मेरी मेरी इच्छा होती तो मैं सारे गाने मेरे रफी साहब गाते. That apart. I mean,
Mm,
Mukesh, Kishore Kumar, Mahendra Kapoor, Manna Dey, they have all sung Hemant Kumar.
yes.
Some very nice songs for.
Mm,
Of course, there are 27 singers who have sung for Dharamji in all. The 28th is Dharamji himself, who had a small phrase in one of the songs. So he's listed.
mm.
But otherwise, he never interfered. I mean, his job was to come, do, and see, apart from that, he never interfered is a separate issue.
Mm.
But usually he was so busy that he wouldn't have even had the time if he wanted to interfere.
But almost all his songs are memorable. Most of his songs.
Was the high point of my recording for with Bharti that
Yes.
हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं म्यूजिकल स्टार्स कौन है दिलीप देवराज शम्मी कपूर राजेंद्र कुमार राजेश खन्ना ऋषि कपूर कोई कोई जितेंद्र का नाम लेता है शाहरुख का नाम लेता है अमिताभ का भी नाम लेता है बट धर्मजी इज इजीली एंड effortlessly one of our most musical stars
Yes.
because at least 20 songs of his are iconic, not just chartbusters.
Mm.
झिलमिल सितारों का आंगन हो मैं जट यमला पल पल दिल के पास रफ्ता
Starting
रफ्ता
देवर, starting from देवर, आया है मुझे फिर याद वो जालिम.
नहीं बट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द आइकॉनिक वन जो आज की जनरेशन भी जानती है
ये.
आज की जनरेशन भी प्यार करती है ये दोस्ती नहीं तोड़ेंगे
Mm.
see that level of popularity and staying power
Yes.
what you the example you mentioned is a brilliant song but it was popular or a hit but I'm talking about the cult
Mm.
150 songs of his became hits.
Mm.
See, how do you, I mean, if you check any other so-called musical star, उनका नंबर शायद 100 तक भी नहीं पहुंचेगा. But इनका 150 था. फिर भी, similarly, he was very, very underrated as an actor. I have spoken to you about that.
Yes.
He was very underrated as an actor. He says, जब भी awards होते थे, I used to make a suit sometimes, hoping that I'll get an award, not the lifetime. All
Mm.
he got was a few lifetime achievement awards. But like he said, he had he gave so much love and he received so much love that all those didn't matter to him in the long run. He must have been upset actually. But see, I feel that Chupke Chupke in particular,
Mm.
there were a few other films.
Mm.
Apne should have won him an award that year because there was nobody's performance that matched his in 2007. Male hero.
Mm.
Similarly, Chupke Chupke, of course, but award, of course, went to Sanjeev Kumar, not for Sholay, but for Andhi.
Mm.
And he never won any national award
Yes.
for acting. He
Yes.
won the Padma Bhushan, but that is not in that same class.
So
So, all said
perceptions,
and done, they were
perceptions matter.
चांद पे भी डाव होता है. He, he was a very big chand, very big. This see what Anil Sharma told me yesterday was very revealing. He
Mm.
said the way he was as a human being, plus as a star and actor, all put together.
Mm.
He says हर देश का हर घर आज धर्मेंद्रमय हो गया है. There is no house which is not discussing him becoming upset at losing as if you have lost a family member.
Yes. And
You know.
here, in your book, while reading, there was a mention of his marriage with Hema Malini and the controversy surrounding it, dealt in a very sensitive and non-controversial manner. But
Hmm.
how is it Dharmendra as an actor? Because usually we hear stories about actors flirting with heroines. But about
Hmm.
Dharmendra, you don't hear anything except Hema Malini. And he married her.
See, I wouldn't know all these things because I didn't ask him. The idea behind my book was not to discuss all these things.
Mm.
But it was a very decent decision, even more decent of Hemaji to tell him that she will not interfere in his
Life.
first family.
Mm.
And I did a video interview of Dharamji long back, and at that time, he told me that his first wife, Prakash, Prakash ji was even looking for a groom for Isha Deol.
Mhm.
You know,
Mm.
when it was not being such a eligible boy was not being easily found. So there was harmony in that. I think a large extent that reflects on Dharamji, Prakashji as well as Himaji.
Yes.
And when Himaji was unwell in hospital,
Mm.
it was Sunny Deol who took care of all the arrangements. So all this thing about controversy, I don't think it's a controversy. People want things to write.
Mm.
People want things to fill up airspace or fill up print space, and they're going to like the very, very malicious and obnoxious reports of his death about a
Yes.
fortnight before it actually happened.
Mm.
Reputed publications and websites carried,
Yes.
you know. And I was on tenterhooks not only because of my attachment to Dharamji, but also because his 90th birthday was just weeks
Only.
away.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he died 2 weeks exactly before December 8th.
Mm.
Then I called up Sharmila Tagore, one of his most frequent co-stars,
Mm.
because she shared her birthday with him. They have done 7 films together to talk about him, not for this his passing away, but for his birthday, a
Mm.
cheerful kind of thing. But she said, "No, I'm not in the mood."
Mm.
Asha Parekh said the same thing.
Mm.
See, Asha Parekh has a 100% tally of successes with him.
Yes.
I Din Bahar Ke was a super hit. I Sam Jhumke was a hit. Shikar was a super hit.
मेरे हमदम
Sama,
मेरे दोस्त.
no, no, that I'm talking about Asha Parekh.
अच्छा परेक राइट.
Mera Gaon Mera Desh
मेरे
was a
देगा
super.
मेरा देश.
Last film where they were cast romantically was Samadhi, which was Dharamji's home production again, which
सुपर
was a
हिट.
success. It was a success. It was not a hit,
Mm.
but there's no flop. If you see
Mm.
Dharamji and Asha Parekh, there's no flop.
Yes. And also, I wanted to ask you about his first forays into Bombay world before the contest, because we knew only after the contest. Your book mentions that he came 6 years before the contest and left Bombay, tried his luck at Bombay. Can you throw some
He
more light
tried,
upon it?
yeah, he tried his luck. He wanted to see everything, and then he could not manage. He went back, but
Mm.
the determination didn't go.
Mm.
The determination to be an actor didn't go. He had his mother's blessings. His father was a little against, and he was. You see, every person is worried what will happen to this simple villager once he goes to the big bad city of Mumbai.
Mm.
But an expensive place, obviously, you can't
Mm.
compare. Living alone, all those things, nobody to take care of him. So all
Mm.
those organic worries must have been there. But the determination never left him, and God helped him, and God helped us get Dharamji. You
Mm.
know, so I mean that. Another thing was he met Arjun Ingorani in the bus because Arjun Ingorani was escorting another candidate,
Mm.
and he turned out to be the man who first introduced him, though
Mm.
as a second lead. And Dharamji was not even recognized at the premiere of his first film.
Mm. Yes.
He got a little disappointed there also.
Mm.
But see, where there is a will, there is a way. I mean, his way.
And
And again, the last thing, Anil Sharma met him last about 6 weeks before he passed away.
mm.
And he actually told Anil Sharma, write a good story for me. मैं ऐसा काम करूंगा कि दुनिया देखती रहेगी.
Mm.
This was just about 2 months back. Can you imagine that? He was already touching
90.
90.
Mm. And one more thought crops up is that he is one of the few actors lucky enough to see his sons becoming successful and carving a niche for themselves. And yet there were no ego hassles or jealousies.
I'll mention the most interesting part of this, on which I have written a small article also recently.
Yes.
Not only did he coexist with Sunny Deol,
Mm.
but Sunny Deol co-starred with Amrita Singh, who was Dharmendra's own discovery in Betap,
Mm.
Sridevi, Dimple Kapadia, Kimi Katkar, and Poonam Dhillon.
They acted with
And
his son. Mm.
acted he Dharamji acted with all of them romantically after that.
After that, yes.
See, there Akshay Khanna and Vinod Khanna have also shared Dimple.
Mm.
But when Akshay was teamed with Dimple in Dil Chahta Hai, Dimple was shown as a middle-aged girl, a woman.
Yes.
And similarly, Raj Kapoor has shared Hema Malini's as a heroine with both Randhir and Rishi Kapoor.
Mm.
But their career spans were different. Raj Kapoor was not there when Randhir Kapoor and Rishi Kapoor were there as a romantic hero.
And Raj Kapoor acted before them. Hema Malini
Yeah, as a
promoted
romantic
him.
hero, he was before them.
Yes.
Vinod Khanna as a romantic hero was before Akshay Khanna.
Yes.
Anil Dutt as a romantic hero before Sanjay Dutt.
Yes.
But this was only now 87, if you see 1987. Sunny Deol had just one release, which flopped, Dakat.
Mm.
Dharmendra had 10 films releases and 6 of them did well,
Mm.
including the biggest hit of the year, Hukumat.
Mm.
And Sunny Deol had a song in Dakat, Kis Karan Naiya Doli.
Mm.
You know, it was a rural drama. Dakat means Daku.
Well. Mm.
It was a rural drama. This song, Kis Karan Naiya Doli,
Mm.
was the the mukhada was the same as Dharmendra's Kuch Kehta Hai Ye Song.
Mhm.
You know, the
Mm.
lyricist was common, Bakshi Sar.
Mm.
But that was Sunny Deol's only release. Somewhere this, this trivia is so interesting.
Yes. Amazing. Because
Yeah,
his father is becoming more successful as he grows older.
yes, yes.
Mm. And you have interacted with Dharmendra ji many times, as you said. How did he strike you as a human being? You said he is very close to. You said one of the few human beings in film industry is Dharmendra, but
See,
people talk about his
I,
down to earth attitude.
I don't have to reply to this question simply because the whole world knows what Dharamji was as a human being. You know,
Yes.
he was so affectionate, so loving, and so philosophical, and so good that I don't think words in the English dictionary are sufficient, or Hindi dictionary for that matter, are sufficient to describe his greatness as a person. You know,
Mm.
he's. If you read my book, Leena Chandavarkar has said something very revealing.
Mm.
That when her husband was in hospital, Dharamji arranged for the medicines
Mm.
and would, in the rain, go to the airport to pick them up from some airlines officer who got them from abroad and brought them in the rain to the hospital and obviously didn't take money for them.
Mm.
So this was this human quality. And again, to come back to many examples, Anil Sharma ji again, who's directed him in 5 films and produced a sixth,
Mm.
and directed him in a seventh film in a cameo.
Mm.
So he told me that when he was assisting Ravi Chopra on the burning train, that's
Mm.
when he first met Dharamji.
Mm.
So at that time, he was in charge of making sure all the actors reach the sets or locations on time.
Mm.
So there was this last shot on the last day where all the lead actors had to be there.
Mm.
And he told everyone कि आपको इस टाइम पे यहाँ पहुंचना है because everybody had their own vehicle. And Parveen Babi requested him कि मुझे कुछ काम है. I want to go somewhere and all that. So 3 times, yeah, I requested 3 times. He said, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do.
Mm.
But finally, she did not come on time. She did come as on time for the shoot, but not for the time when they were supposed to assemble.
Mm.
So when she was missing, the director Ravi Chopra fired Anil Sharma. He said, "तुम्हारी जिम्मेदारी थी." So Dharamji said, "Why are you firing him? It's not his mistake. I heard him tell her thrice. You know, he is the hardest working boy in the unit. I have not seen anybody who works so hard. It's not his fault.
Mm.
Tell the actress." So Anil Sharma was shocked. He said, "A big time star like him,
Standing up
taking
for.
up, standing up for a junior assistant
Mm.
in front of a big director, you
Mm.
know." So he said, "This side, कौन करता है ऐसा? Who does this?"
Mm.
Like I said, he's phoning up the office of an unknown for him publication in the US,
Mm.
getting my number, not even knowing me. calling me at breakfast time in Mumbai.
mm,
You know, how many people will do? How many stars? Forget big stars. How many actors or actresses or film people will do this? Before I won my national award, I think this was the high point of my journalistic life.
And now coming to the final question, like I
Huh.
want you to name five films of Dharmendra ji which are personally related to you, which you feel personally the best. Your choice, not technical, not acting wise.
See, I would prefer to name films where, yeah, you can say correct. So I think without any order of merit or importance,
Mm,
one would be Ghazal.
mm,
One would be obviously Chupke Chupke, where a senior Bengali
mm,
journalist wrote that he was better than Uttam Kumar in the original of Chupke Chupke.
mm,
No. The third would be probably as a film, Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani.
mm,
I found him absolutely amazing in that small but very important role he had, which drove the story. Uh, Fourth would be Mera Gaon Mera Desh, because like Dharamji himself, I still consider it the original of Sholay.
yes.
Too many, too many coincidental or incidental or calculated similarities.
Yes.
But with stronger grittiness and better songs. They're the
Very
only main.
rustic, true to reality. Mm,
And I mentioned four. I
yes.
think I mentioned four,
You
right?
mentioned four.
Uh, there's so many. I mean, the fifth position. Uh, Very difficult question. Did I mention Yadov ki Bara?
No,
Yadov ki Bara.
the trend-setting angry young man film without
That
songs.
scene where he comes to
Mm,
realize that these people are my brothers, but he can't do anything. He's helpless because
mm,
he has been instructed by Ajit's gang
mm,
carry out something. See, that that expression on his face, helpless totally. इतना तगड़ा आदमी, इतना fearless, angry young man, like you rightly said in that film, can't do a thing. He can't go and tell them, I'm your eldest brother. You know. So I would say these five films, but not the only five by any means.
no. But
बहुत
almost,
सारे प्रतिज्ञा आती है, चरस आती है, धर्मवीर आता है, काफी सारी फिल्में
but
आती हैं.
all your selections are after the 70s.
That's coincidental again. Because 60s के पहले he's I feel personally he had a lot of good roles. He had Devar, he had
Yes.
Ampad,
Very
he
serious
had
roles.
I'm not saying just serious, but yeah, largely they were serious emotional roles. Anupama.
Hmm.
I would place Anupama in the top list also. So we make it six instead of five.
Dola or Shabnam?
As I said, there are many more. There are many more. There are many more. But there are people who would rave about his performance in Satyakam also,
Yes. Hmm.
which was his first home production. Dost was another very good performance. Jugnu,
Jugnu.
totally different, you know, the way he carried himself. So I mentioned that humorous story about Satyakam and Dost in my book.
Yes. Why
With
don't you recount it? Hmm.
both roles were of an idealist,
Yes.
and he was afraid because Satyakam had flopped. See,
Hmm.
Satyakam was financed by him. Officially, it was not his production, but he has said to me personally that paisa mera hi laga tha.
Hmm.
So when that film flopped,
Hmm.
he was so scared that those भी flop hogi.
Hmm.
Coincidentally, a Bengali director again, Rishikesh Mukherjee and Dulal Guha.
Hmm.
He ran away to Kashmir, arranged a shooting with another producer,
Hmm.
and he was staying in Srinagar when he came to know कि वहां पे दोस्त सुपर हिट हो गई है. In the first 1 or 2 days, the feedback was so, मैन टू मैन फीडबैक जो बोलते हैं,
Hmm.
यूएस फीडबैक वाज सो स्ट्रांग दैट वो पिक्चर हिट हो गई थी. वर्ड ऑफ माउथ, दैट्स द प्रॉपर वर्ड.
But
So he was getting so he got so disturbed by that because he was a good human being. He had missed the premiere deliberately of Dost.
mm,
So he started, you know,
mm,
drinking a peg or two, and he immediately told the producer, "I want to go to Mumbai for a day."
mm,
He rushed back to Mumbai and fell at the feet of director Dulal Goa.
mm,
And there and then on that day itself, he signed him for Pratigya, which was also his home production.
okay, mm,
So, see, कितने ह्यूमन बींग्स आपको फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में मिलेंगे इस लेवल के.
mm,
And again, I would like to say here a very important point that when I came into this line and met so many stalwarts and so many people, most of them, with very few exceptions, nice people, lovely people.
mm,
But there are very few people whose deaths affect you personally.
mm.
You know, आपको लगता है आपका कोई closest friend गया है. You know, so in that short list, Dharamji comes. Because I was, and at that point of time, even if you come to know and you are, told to that the last rites are happening, I would not like to go because I've seen them as they should be in my image. So ये limited category में I would say लक्ष्मीकांत जी, कल्याण जी भाई, आनंद बख्शी साहब, ऋषि कपूर, धर्म जी as the fifth.
Mm,
You know, these are people you don't want to see because you've seen them not just on screen, in person,
mm.
you know, and you've seen them full of life and the kind of warmth they had for us, for me especially, and I believe most of them for most other people, journalists. But it's not a journalist celebrity equation. It becomes much more than that. That is my final
So,
statement on Dharamji.
so on this note, we shall
I would say this is my second last statement on Dharamji. My last statement would be Dharamji has not gone. He will always remain, forever in everybody's hearts. जिनको भी उन्होंने प्यार दिया है, जिनका प्यार उन्हें मिला है, and that includes virtually the whole world.
so he would be singing from above, "Gar tum भुला ना दोगे, सपने ये सच ही होंगे, हम तुम जुदा ना होंगे." So on this note, we will put a comma to this conversation, and maybe when next time we meet, we continue conversing about the film stars Dharmendra ji and all others. Thank you very much for giving me time, Rajiv Vijayakar ji.
So, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Mm.
And the questions you ask also make sense, there I can mention people who ask silly questions about everybody under the sun. Because किसी भी तरह, like I said, पेज भरना है, एयर टाइम भरना है. But sensibility, sensitivity, sense, these three S's are very important. I think you have managed all three, thankfully.
Thank you very much.
So much. Thank you so much.
So, if you had liked this conversation, please subscribe to the channel and like the video and make suggestions as comments. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.